It's another season of Titus Pétange, and you know what? I think this should be an easy one to get through. 7th of November, 2051, trying to find the Champions League trophy that we couldn't find last season. Let's have a look at the competitions. Competitions first. Champions League. We've been drawn an interesting group, definitely. Arsenal, Dynamo, Zagreb, and Dortmund. Dortmund really struggling, but shout outs to Dynamo, Zagreb, who we're going to play today. Got a draw against us away from home. How about that? I think we had like a player sent off. We've got a pretty bad disciplinary record this season. Not happy with it whatsoever. I think we've already got, 2-3 players sent off. It's November, gentlemen. But this game here, I think, is for qualification in the group stage. And you know what? I would have preferred to play Arsenal, Dortmund, because they've got more prestige as a European club right now. But obviously, Zagreb, who are third, who are better than Dortmund, clearly, they were the only ones that could muster up a point against us. And you know what? With how Titus Pétange are right now, mustering up a point as a Croatian side is very fucking good. I respect the hell out of that. It's a bit embarrassing for us, but you know what? We got this home game. We got this home game to sort it out. We drew to Sheffield right at the start of the season, which shows that, yes, they are making slight progress, these Luxembourg clubs. I don't think they'll ever catch up, to be honest. I think we are very much clear, like we're very much clear of most European teams. And if there is a team that even troubles us in the slightest, we have all the financial power to disrupt them, hugely disrupt them. So that's all that is. I remember we did forget Europe, World. We'll talk about, no, sorry, my bad. Spain's World Cup win was last season, so we should have talked about that. But history, awards, yep. Look at the Ballon d'Or from last season, because I did not talk about it. It was Julian Uriarte. Andreas Paradiso at 36 came third. And after that, he retired. Now, I did think about bringing him back for his last season of retiring, but he literally only played one more season. He gave it one more season at Real Madrid and just went, you know what? I'm done. I've done everything that hopefully he did everything that he set out to do. I'd love him to be a manager at our club, but let's be honest here, he's not that good. And I am not willing to edit the game in any way. So it's not going to happen, unfortunately. I'm going to pass on him because we got such a great staff. I don't want to carry anyone, especially if they're a manager. It's just a shame that he's not like a sick manager. That would have been amazing if he was, around the place for a long time. I think he will just hang up the boots and call it a day soon. It's just a shock. It's absolutely shocking to see him retire. I thought he was gonna carry on until he was 40. He had all the stats to carry on until he was 40, but he's gone for an earlier retirement than initially thought. There you go. So going back, there might have been something else. Let's have a look at the schedule just to see if there's anything that we're missing. Nah, not really, not there. Club info. Go to Luxembourg. Now, we didn't win the Champions League last time out, did we? Christoph Wagner. Oh, it's got one motivating. That's disgusting. They're at the highest world ranking. Edit nation detail, generated players. They're up to 80. So that has gone up. Wow. I put that... So, what was it? Last time it might have been at 75, and I put it up to 76. I basically put it up 1. Usually I put it up about 3 if it hasn't moved a little bit and we've won a Champions League. I just put it up 3. I put it up 1 last time, but it's actually jumped up to 80, which is insane. This is getting there. This is making progress, man. And I believe The second top player is genuinely from Luxembourg. Yeah, man. Instead of like Brazilians coming in to the club or Argentinians coming into the club. Oh, Argentinians coming into club football in Luxembourg and then, you know, dedicating their national team antics to the Luxembourg national team, if you see what I'm saying. Yeah. Let's have a look at their schedule. What's going on? So the Euro qualifiers are about, and I'm seeing a lot of greens. Denmark already qualified. Does the second place side get a chance to qualify somewhere else? They're doing amazingly well, though. They just beat Croatia away. Wow. They just beat Croatia away. That is incredible. It's probably why they've jumped up a little bit. That's outstanding by Luxembourg. I'm really, really happy with how it's all going. They've got a lad from Fiorentina here. Surely he's not. No, he's Brazilian. He's Brazilian from start, and now he plays for the Luxembourg national team. Ferreira, probably. Oh, German. No? Oh, wow, he was born in Luxembourg. How about that? It's not bad. 32. Right. Transfers. Good job. Good thing just milling around the save, because this year we haven't sold that many players. It hasn't been a big year. When was the last time that we saw each other? Schedule. Looking to last season. Was it the 3-0 victory over Schifferland? I might have even simulated it. Let's say it is, because I'm pretty sure we talked about this Jeunesse d'Esch loss in the Luxembourg Cup final. It was a season of basically no silverware. It was very, very disappointing as a whole. Of course, the BGL League we did win, but that's a shoo-in for us. That really is a shoo-in. The other tournaments at least gives us a bit of challenge. So 5th month, 6th day. Transfer history. Yes. Right. So we were talking about this, I'm pretty sure. I did put some money into Luxembourg clubs. Let's just highlight them. 8 people, so it was 80 million in total. And finally, the final transfer in for that season was Emerson, a centre-back, 5-star centre-back, but he's got a serious hip injury at the moment. I don't think he's actually susceptible to injuries. That's just highlighting that he's got a long-term injury at this moment in time. As for outs, it was Tamer Farouk, the final one of that season, out on loan. He's growing quite nicely. All right, keep an eye on him. It's just a lot of money that went out. That is fantastic for the football club. 721. We're not able to replicate it here. We've kept most of the players around because this is like a new generation of Titus Pétange footballers that will eventually win a Champions League. Probably will be this year, but let's see. Right, sorted out by fees on the outbounds, but we'll talk about the inbounds first. Not that much going. Dunstan Elliott, who's out on loan at Watford at the moment, coming in from Chelsea, 5-star centre-back. Not a bad amount of money, 21.5 million. There are a few 5-star players hanging around, but they're just so expensive. And I know I don't need to, like, rush into the deals, rush into the signings. Andy Dixon is another centre-back, but also can play left and right back quite comfortably. Strong on the right foot, perfectionist. And he comes in from Chelsea as well, I think, at £3 million. The Scottish-born defender. Not bad at all. Nathan Donald, who is currently a holding midfielder, 4.5 stars. But with that wheel, I fancy wing-back. It is kind of a wing-back wheel, not going to lie. He is still contracted to us. He didn't get a loan out, which is a shame. But there's not that many players in the under 23, so he will be getting game time in the under 23s for sure. Let's go back there. Yeah, so Celtic transfer of 17 million. Dixon was 3 million. Philip Pantic, who is a gem, to be honest. I got a report of 4.5 stars, and you don't usually see the 4.5 star signings go up to 5 stars. This guy did, and he's a perfectionist. All of a sudden, a meh signing becomes quite an interesting signing for the future. Will he break into the first team? 3.3 million going up to 4 million with the additional fees and clauses and whatnot. Adrian Amantini, slightly injury prone, but that's all right. Really driven, 20 determination. Loved that about him. Still in the under 23s. Couldn't seal a loan out, but that's all right. He's got plenty of time to grow. 4.2 million from Village. Loads of loans as per. I'll just highlight all we got. 59 people out on loan. I tell you what as well, 80 players out on international duty at a certain point. I think it was it would have been the October internationals. 80 international players. Obviously at different levels. It could be for the youngsters. It could be for the first team. But here we go. Not that much money flying around. We really need to get back into the top 4 coefficients because the money has dropped off significantly. And that's probably another reason why we should really hold more than selling. Because if we get back into the top 4 of coefficients, we can, start making big money again. Jesse Van der Poel. Finally, we are happy to say we've seen enough of him. Lazio got him on a free. That's fine. It was just a bit of money to sign him back up to make sure that we'd got it right. 8.25 million down the drain. But if we left him with Milan and if he turned into a world beater, we would have been kicking ourselves. So now we are absolutely certain Jesse Van der Poel is not it. He's gone to Lazio. Good luck. At least likes big games. Levant de Mercy is one that's pissed me off a lot because this is right on the director of football. I told him to make sure everybody gets signed up, and for some reason de Mercy didn't get signed up. 5-star potential. Keep an eye on it. He's at Flamengo at the moment, so a deal could be absolutely struck with that team. Then we move on to the players that actually cost us. We received money for. Luis Pedro, 3.5 stars. Yeah, 3.5 stars maximum going to PSG. Probably maybe a cut price at 9.25 million. Casimir, I would have thought Casimir would have brought a bit more money back, but there you go. He's at Rosenborg at the moment. That's an interesting transfer. Guaranteed 3.5 stars, 10.25 million. Fasoli dropped off, 3.5 stars as well. The driven Italian winger going to Fenerbahce at 11 million. Geslin Munganga. Paris Saint-Germain also picked up this player. He was in my first team for about 2 months, and then it was like, yeah, he doesn't like big matches. Okay, all right, get him gone. 5'5" as well. He was a short fry. But you know what? We've played with 5'5". I'm pretty sure Dodd was 5'5". Let's have a check on that. Dodd. Is Dodd still playing? Hell yeah, he is. 5'3". How about that? We have played with some smaller players. So that was 12.5 to Paris Saint-Germain. Sarp Yildiz. I thought this guy was going to be sick. But his potential has, dropped off a little bit. He's 22 years old. He's not got the room to grow into an amazing player. We've got better 22-year-olds, absolutely. 12.5 million to Wolfsburg. Zenit takes Oliver Bergholm. These players that were 5 stars for a long time, and then they all of a sudden, they're only 3.5 stars. It's a bit of a shock factor when it happens, but at least you get a clearer picture. It does help when they get into this certain age to get rid of them. So you've opened up the opportunity of loans. You've got the loan rules in place. Obviously, you can only loan out 6 over 21 players. So that's not great. I'm just hearing a fly. If you hear a fly through the recording, I do apologize. Ludovic Del Haye, guaranteed 4.5 star potential. Guaranteed. Why the hell have you sold him to Man City? Because he's a bloody mercenary. He's a mercenary, mate. And we've got plenty of good centre backs. I don't want him in my team. It gets to the point where it's just like, you have one bad thing about you, and you're getting sold because of it. Alessandro Zanga. Let me have a drink first. Now, this was the lad that I thought was going to be our first team left back. But instead, in the same window, I think it was, Brian Ruiz was signed up, and he's absolutely flown out the traps. Fair play to him. We've also got Facundo Ferreira in here. We'll talk about the first team in a second. But here we are. Alessandro Zanga, who was 5 stars for a long time, dropped all the way down to 3 stars. Even worse, he doesn't like big matches. It's actually amazing that we got the money that we received for him. Let's go back to it. 13.5 million for Fenerbahce. I mean, he's got to be a decent signing for Fenerbahce. Him and Fasoli. Then we get into Bayern Munich for Luis Miguel Diaz, who is, well, a very Mazzala type kind of midfielder. Oh yeah, Mazzala likes the big games. Could be a good player for him. Was on loan, I believe, to Bayern Munich the previous season with a mandatory future fee of 14.75 million. Because we had to make a decision on all the centre mids that were coming through at that time. We made a decision on Thibaut Damour because for some strange ass reason, our director of football offered him £220,000 a week. He's a great player, but he's not as well rounded as our other players, our other midfielders. I would much rather see Chris Bower play for us. I'd much rather see the lads that we've already got. He's gone to Atletico Madrid. He's not going to cause us any problems. Hopefully he doesn't move to one of the bigger sides. If he does, we do have a sell-on clause, I think. But he might cause us problems in the future. I don't know. He's going to be like a sick player, obviously. 4 stars, 4.5 stars guaranteed. Maybe we sign him back up. What's his release clause? The Spanish teams have to have a release clause on it. It's £84 million. Do we have that kind of money splashing about? Of course we do, but it's a lot. It's a lot. We'll have to see. But if we go and sign him back up, you got to also take in the wages as well. I think it's the ship sailed with Thibaut Damour. He came in at a point where we're getting loads of central midfielders in, and a time where Ugarelli had to learn how to defend to be like that more overall suited central midfielder. This guy can't attack for shit. I don't think we'll be able to train him, teach him to do that. Not only that, in the same kind of age bracket, you have no one. There he is, Chris Bower. Chris Bower, who's obviously well-rounded on anything. This is like Thibaut Damour on steroids. He is currently out on loan to Juventus. And his potential is a guaranteed 5 stars. All of a sudden, Thibaut Damour shown the door. Shown the door. Right, let's have a little flick through. We've gone through all the transfers, haven't we? Let's have a quick flick through the first team, if that is correct. Yeah, all transfers done. And we'll start with Avandich, our first team goalkeeper, who is developing. Come on, lad. Get on it. 21 years old now. Of course, it takes a little bit longer for the goalkeepers to get to their main point. João Lucas, apparently just the 4-star potential. We'll have to see on him. He might be making his way out of the club soon. If there's another centre-back rising through the ranks of the under-23s. Then we've got Josemi, who's he could be a shoo-in for the Ballon d'Or at the end of this season, to be honest. He's been really, really good for us. History, scored 28 goals last season. Scored 7 currently in this one. So, just an eye out for that. Kai K is a monster. Right, most of these players are monsters. Oliveira is another one which is like slightly concerning. Nice overall midfielder, but 24 years old. How much can he improve from that point? Ongania was going to play a lot this season for us, but we received a very, very tasty offer from Paris Saint-Germain. First team on Paris Saint-Germain. He's going to get like serious experience there, and we can concentrate on the other strikers at the club, especially Romulo, who's dropping by the wayside a little bit. We need to sort that out. Prayer, who's a backup goalkeeper, doing pretty well as well. We got basically the team set for a long, long time. And here comes Romulo. Yeah, growing quite nicely. Dylan Pleisier is fucking outstanding. Outstanding. I've not seen him make a single mistake. He is everything that we wanted the previous right back. I can't remember his name. Is it Nwakali? We wanted him to be what Pleisier became. Brian Ruiz, who was a little bit more susceptible to a mistake. Then we've got Sabotic, who thankfully is a 4-star potential. I've recently seen him at 3.5-star potential, but that has gone up. I just want him to be a part of the side, man. But Pleisier has really pushed him to accepting substitute role. Joel Shackleton Dodd, there he is, my man. Could have potentially been sold. He is now I don't know if he's the captain, but he's definitely the leader of the side. 27, most experience. I wouldn't be surprised if he was top of the hierarchy. Hell yeah, he is. Shackleton Dodd, he is captain. Not really surprising there. So there's Shackleton Dodd. And Tony's out on loan to Granada. Probably going to get sold after this season. Also susceptible. Sorry, my bad. He's got a long-term injury, which has not helped him one bit. Ugarelli. Now, you got to get the binoculars out, lads. I don't know if we've actually done it, but it's so close. There might be a little tip of yellow, just the tiniest tip of yellow above this white line, but we are so fucking close to making Ugarelli, who was absolutely gash at defending, a competent defender. And look at that. If once his bar is raised even higher, fingers crossed, it looks like this guy's got no limits whatsoever. We've got the perfect midfield. We really have got the perfect midfielder there. It is a joke how good he is. It is a joke. He's been fantastic for us already, and he's 24. Mate, long may it continue. Uriarte, what's the stats on Uriarte? Yeah, he's scoring more goals. He is scoring more goals than Josemi, so he's probably going to get another Ballon d'Or. Bloody hell, mate. Uriarte is pretty good. And we've got Simon Warner. He's had a little bit of an injury, I think, recently. He's got back into the first team. Yeah, fractured lower leg. Ouch. But he's back into the first team now, and his bravery's going back up. Good. Agresta's been amazing for us. Little shout out to Agresta since Warner's been out. Magnificent. Tobias Berra is into the first team for the first time. Out on loan to Milan, though. So, good luck there. He's This is a absolutely typical winger wheel for me. This stinks of winger. A very Paradiso wheel. Paradiso had a wheel like this. Which means that he probably is going to be like a sick winger for us. Bordenaro, for the fucking love of God, turn just balanced. Just get unambitious out your fucking head. Mate, you're at the biggest club. The Champions League's are right there, pal. You have got so much class. Sort it out. 23 years old. He's really, really good for a 23-year-old, okay? But he could be so much better. Damn. Bower's there. Out on loan to Juventus. Insane. I'm sure he's going to, like, make waves when he becomes, like, a Titus Pétange regular. Savo Saran actually dropped a little bit in agility. Has he been training right? Average rating 8.07. I don't know what's going on there. I'll keep an eye on him. And Carrillo's not had a good point of training as well. Come on. Sort yourselves out, lads. Della Monica in the first team. And this guy's apparently 4.5 stars. I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't think he's better than Brea, but Berra, whatever his name is. But there you go. Diakite, unhappy at the situation, needs more game time. So we're going to try and give him more game time. Real physical beast at the back. Doesn't seem that bad. Obviously, with stats like that, you won't be bad. Ferreira, we touched upon. He's come in from the under-23s into the first team. Chris Hewitt, who's been like loaned in, loaned out, stopped, yeah, this, that, and the other. He's been loaned for to a lot of clubs, but he's sticking with us. Definitely playing this season. And we're back to Avandich. Hey, how about that? Bloody hell! I've been mumbling for so long. I said that this was going to be an easy episode. I made it difficult for myself. Titus Pétange against Dynamo Zagreb. In Park Paradiso, whatever the name of this stadium is. Relax. Everything's under control. I just think, look, Zagreb they've done great work to get a draw out of us. Yes? It's it, Josami. It's an easy goal. It's an easy goal. Thank you very much. Josami's he's an instinctive striker, in my opinion. He just knows where to be, and obviously you combine that with the pace that he's got, and you're on a winning combination. I'm gonna have a drink. It's more, you know what? It's more impressive. I'm looking at Zagreb's side, and I would guarantee that these are probably mostly Croatian as well. This is a very homegrown side. Damn, they're doing really well. Fair fucking play to you. Fair play to Dynamo Zagreb. That is insane, mate. They've got a guy up front called Kananzek. Amazing. Should we give the plaudits to the manager? Maybe they got like an amazing manager. Hopefully none of the big clubs go and sign this manager up. Look at him. Look at him passing around. They're really, really comfortable. This is when they lose the ball and all of a sudden, yeah. All of a sudden we're on the attack. Plezier probably goes down the wing up. And just waiting for the opening. Or Ugarelli trying to split it up. Oh, it's terrible. Some serious errors at the back there from Dynamo Zagreb, but Uriarte blasts it over. Match stats. Well, we're looking at 13 shots for Titus Pétange, and just the 3. I was going to say 2. It turned into 3. I don't really need to give any kind of words of advice to the team. They're getting through it. They're going through the motions. Oh, Saran trying to drop it in there. Resler, the goalkeeper, awares of the situation and just rushes out off his line. Looks like it's going to be a Titus Pétange chance. Fucking left back's doing back heels. Yeah, all right, mate. All right. Hewitt across. That's a great ball by Romelu. And Josemi makes it 2-0 yet again. Just with the great runs that Josemi has. I'd like to see him get a Ballon d'Or at one stage. He's been playing like second fiddle to Raul Torres and Uriarte for too long, and he's come into his own, and he's a different type of player. Let's bring in Bordenaro. Looks like Josemi was very tired. Yeah, so Declan Rice is the new assistant manager, if you didn't know. We did have a shithouse Argentinian for a long, long time. Ariel, whatever his name was. But firstly, the draw of Declan Rice was too large at the final point. We had to make him assistant manager. And he was younger. And he's a recognisable name. And it makes more sense. Two English people combining as the assistant managers. That kind of makes sense as a connection. Way more sense than, say, calling up an Argentinian from out of nowhere and going, "Hey, mate, do you want to be our assistant manager? Cheers, pal." Ugarelli. Plezier. That'll be easy for Uriarte as Bordenaro heads it onto the crossbar, and we get our third goal of the night. All smiles, absolute domination, but only 3-0. Zagreb should be really, really happy with it. Like, we've slapped up Arsenal and Dortmund, I'm pretty sure, heavier than 3-0. Let's have a look. Schedule. Dortmund was 2-0. Fair enough. Arsenal was 4-0. So Zagreb, you know, they're in a decent little position here. I really want them to qualify. Obviously, it means, like, Arsenal get shoved out. But even if they don't qualify, they've got a chance. Third place, they've got a chance at the Europa League. I'm absolutely certain of that. Right then. I think we've gone through everything. Player stats. Go on, give me some player stats. Uriarte, top goal scorer. Highest average rating at the moment. Most assists, Ugarelli, not really surprising. Aggressors on 99% pass completion. Uriarte, most player of the matches. Plezier, yellow cards. Red cards, there you go. Agresta and Della Monica, both with red cards so far this season. Usually we have seasons where we don't even go through a single red card. Already 2 through November. Right. And until next time, until we do get into the semi-final of the Champions League, I do not accept anything but the semi-final of the Champions League. I have to, like, just head out. We are going to get to the semi-final of the Champions League. Bye-bye.